The following story has been brought to you by StoriesToInspire.org.
You remember this, when was it? Quite a few years ago, I think 2009, the terrorist attack in Mumbai in India. It was one of the worst terrorist attacks in recent history. They came from Pakistan. They wreaked havoc in India. Close to 200 people lost their lives, including 6 of our holy brothers and sisters who were in the Chabad house of Mumbai. Chabad house was led by 2 people, Rabbi Gabi and Rifki Holtzberg, Hashem Yinkem Damam, who were murdered on that dark night, and their son Moshe was saved. You remember the story by the maid? Last year I went to celebrate his bar mitzvah with him. Oh really? You were in Mumbai. Rifki Holtzberg, before her marriage, her maiden name was Rosenberg. And her parents, of course, were sitting Shiva. After they retrieved the bodies, they brought them to Eretz Yisrael, they buried them on Har HaZeisim, together with the other Kedoshim from Mumbai. Her parents, Rabbi and Rebbetzin Rosenberg, who happened to know, were sitting Shiva. In the middle of Shiva, a young woman comes in, an Israeli woman, and she has this big box, and she gives it to Mrs. Rosenberg, Rifki's mother, and she says, "This is from your daughter." She says, "What is it?" She says, "Open the box." She opens the box, and she sees a beautiful diamond ring. Beautiful, stunning diamond ring. Or onyx, jasper, chadam Hashem, whatever it was made out of, a beautiful diamond ring, and a very, very elegant, sophisticated gown. You know, that you would wear for a wedding of a sister of a very close relative. So Mrs. Rosenberg turns to her and says, "This is Rifki's?" "Yeah, how does it come to you?" She says, "I'll tell you the story." She's an Israeli girl, grew up in a secular home, went to the Israeli army. She finished her years of service, and like many Israeli soldiers, they go to the Far East to, I don't know what the word is, discover themselves, relax, get out of a country that's tense, whatever it is. It's an interesting experience. And they go, some of them travel, and she was one of those girls, and she went to India. Now, India is a very complicated country. It's not for now, but she got into trouble over there. And she ended up in one of the worst places you can end up in India, in a prison. And this is a prison where there's no gefilte fish. You go to some prisons here, you know, there's gefilte fish for Shabbos and herring. I once went to, when I visited Rabashkin in prison, there was another prison. I went in over there to visit the people. They said they have 4 types of fish for Friday night meal. I'm like, wow. Okay, it's not a good place for anybody, of course, but I'm just saying the Indian prison was not that way. It was like Yosef in prison. She was with people who are criminals. This is a Yiddish Mädel from Eretz Yisrael. She was in a terrible, terrible, dire situation and without a way of getting out. She studied the process and spoke to the people, and she realized that with a good bribe, she can escape. And she bribed the person she had to bribe, and after a few months, she escaped. Where do you go? In the middle of the night, you're a fugitive from prison, Vu Gateman. So she goes to the Chabad house in Mumbai. In the middle of the night, she wakes up Rifki Holtzberg, and she welcomes her at the door, and she says, "Where are you coming from?" "I'm coming from prison." Now, what would I do if somebody came to my house in the middle of the night coming from prison? You know? She says, "Come in." Come in. And she tells her the whole story. Says, "What do I do?" She says, "What do? You have to get out of India ASAP. This is a lot of corruption here, and you have to get out of here. If they catch you, who knows what's going to happen? They could put you there for 20 years for life. You have to get out of here." She says, "But they're going to investigate my documents." She says, "I'm going to help you." "But what do you mean you're going to help you? They're going to figure things out." She says, "Baruch Hashem, the computer system here is not developed. They won't figure everything out." "Yeah, but they'll ask questions." So Rifki turns to her and says, "I have an idea." And she takes out her most beautiful gown. She gives it to her. She takes her diamond ring and says, "You put this on. If you come in and out dressed like you're dressed now," you know, she was like an Israeli backpacker in India, so you know how she was dressed or not, "they can investigate. But if you're wearing such a gown and such a diamond ring, they'll see you're of a different caliber. They'll just let you go." And she went, and she said, I got back to Israel. And I always thought I have to return the items, and I never did. But now I read about their death, and I'm here in Israel, so I came to give you back the gown and the diamond ring of your daughter. So Mrs. Rosenberg takes the box from her and says, I want to tell you something. I saw my daughter a few weeks ago, and I noticed that her tabat yahalom is missing. Her diamond ring is missing. So I said, Rifki, where's your diamond ring? She looked at me and she said, Ima, my diamond ring is on shlichus. My diamond ring, I'm on shlichus, and my diamond ring is also on shlichus. That's it, she told her. I didn't know, what is my daughter up to? What is she talking about? But I let it go. Who knows what she means? Maybe she doesn't want to tell me the story. Now I understand what she meant.
Enjoyed this story? Come again. Bring a friend. StoriesToInspire.org